Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be going over my Evilswarm deck list. Alright, let's see, first we're going to start off with 3 Evilswarm Mandragora. What he does is if your opponent controls more monsters than you control, you can special summon him. Alright, next we're going to do the main component of this deck is Caster. What he does is when he's normal summoned, he allows you to normal summon another Evilswarm monster that turn that he's normal summoned. Then we have 3 Thunderbirds, the dodger of the deck. Anytime any card effect is activated, except during the damage step, you can basically banish him and he comes back 300 attack points stronger. Basically good for lowering out bottomless, anything that he could be faster at, then yeah. Also have 3 Heliotrope. This guy's just a 1950 beater. He also goes well with rabbits. Run 2 of them, just because you really want it in the first hand. Alright. Next, I'm going to show you Torbus. Alright. It's kind of just like a troll card for Inzektor decks. Or, say you've already used 1 rabbit, brought out 2 Heliotropes, and 2 Heliotropes from the graveyard. Alright, so then you draw another rabbit. What do you do then? You're pretty much screwed. You only have 1 other normal monster in the deck. Unless you run the Dino build for this. Alright, so essentially you just shuffle another Heliotrope, then you can use another rabbit. Alright, then I run 2 tour guides, access my level 3 exceed monsters. No other reason. Also do 1 Dark Armed. Essentially, really just good in any dark deck at all. 1 Thunder King, just for the lulz. Alright, and then 2 Effect Veilers. Alright, this deck is essentially since you have Infestation Pandemic, you can dodge any spells or traps with your Evilswarms, leaving your monsters open to effects. So, 2 Veilers are almost necessary. Next, we're going to move on to spells. Run 2 MSTs, 1 Duality, 1 Pot of Avarice, 1 Heavy Storm, Reborn, 1 Lance. I had actually contemplated like putting it 2 in there, but you know, half of its effect is that the monster becomes unaffected by spells and traps, and I'm running 3 Infestation Pandemics, so essentially I only need this card for the effect to change the attack points, really. 1 Book of Moon, and 1 Dark Hole. Alright, next we move on to traps. I run 1 Compulse, double Bottomless, 1 Torrential. Actually, it might be better to run 2. It's essentially how all decks work, is try to gain a field advantage while clearing your opponents. Alright, 1 Warning, 1 Exceeds Reborn. You might want to run 2 just in case, because essentially the opponent becomes desperate to take down Ophion, and you know, it's just a really good troll card. 1 Deep Prison, Infestation Infection. You know, shuffle Heliotrope from your hand back into the deck, pull out a caster, you know, and 1 Phoenix Chain. Also for negating monster effects and stopping more powerful monsters than Ophion. Alright. Next for the extra deck, I'm gonna run 2 Ophion. You can run 3 if you want, but you know, just 2 seems to be just right where you need it. So the third one would kind of just like not be played too often. So, and I also run 2 Bahamut. This is like the Evilswarm version of a big eye at a higher cost. You detach an Xyz material, discard an Evilswarm monster from your hand, and permanently take control of a monster your opponent controls. This card is almost just like too good. Doesn't actually get a lot of action though unless you use it in your first turn. So unless your opponent goes first and special summon something really awesome, you know. One Evilswarm Ouroboros, right. One Thanatos, one Emerald, also for shuffling back in your heliotropes. One Cowboy. I got a lot of heat on a past video for just, explaining how Gaga Cowboy. I think he's okay, he's not all that great of a card. He's just kind of a, how do you put it, last resort, I guess. Right. Let's see, then I also do one Shockmaster, because it's possible to go into it pretty easily in this deck. Right. One Leviathan Dragon, one Leviair, and one Zenmaines. Right. You might actually want to double the Leviair just in case. Right. And that concludes the Evilswarm deck. I hope you found it useful.